Hi guys, my name is Samantha Rogers. This is my favorite part of the brain project. For my project, I decided to do the amygdala. So wanted to start off with a visual of where it is located. You can see on both the left and the right picture, highlighted in red, you can see where the amygdala is. And going off of that, going straight into the location of it, you can see in these two pictures right where it's located. So for the location, the amygdala is located in the medial temporal lobe anterior to the hippocampus, which essentially means that it is right in front of the hippocampus, which you can see better in this first photo on the left. The hippocampus is in this purple color and the amygdala is in the red. It is also paired structure. There is one amygdala located in each hemisphere of the brain, meaning that there is one in each hemisphere, and it is also part of the limbic system. So as far as functions, it's actually a little complex, which is why I added a picture for visual rather than breaking it down into multiple bullet points. So for the first bullet point, the amygdala is crucial in the function of processing and regulating emotional reactions. It's pretty important in strong, intense emotional reactions, for example, fear, anxiety, anger, aggression, etc. It also plays a role in learning, as it helps us store procedural memories. The amygdala forms the detection of threat and activation of fear-related behaviors as it responds to threatening or dangerous stimuli, essentially meaning it is a part of our fight or flight response. Over here in the picture, you can see how it's broke down by its functions in each category. So in decision making, we have reward learning. For awareness, enhanced sensory response, facilitative awareness. Emotional memory, it is very important in that, especially with fear conditioning, which I'll get into as well. Influence on declarative memory. So it is pretty complex. As you can see, it is broken down in this photo a lot better though. So behaviors and responses. So the amygdala releases hormones that prepare the body to fight a threat or flee from the danger. Basically our fight or flight response. As I said in the previous slide, emotions that trigger the response are fear, anger, anxiety, and aggression. So kind of the more intense emotions. The main role of the amygdala plays in both humans and animals that it helps assess and decide how to properly respond to a threat. It does this by evaluating the emotional importance of sensory information and prompting an appropriate response. It may also send signals to the cerebral cortex, which controls conscious thought. And as I said a few seconds ago, the amygdala is essentially what activates our fight or flight response. So going off of behaviors, the amygdala plays a central role in anxiety responses in regard to stressful situations. It deals a lot with anxiety disorder. A key element of the anxiety circuitry is the amygdala, which integrates information from cortical and thalamic sensory inputs to generate fear. When the amygdala decides that you are facing a threat, it sends a signal, which is nerve impulses, to another part of the brain called the hypothalamus. Morphometric measurements of the amygdala may point to the pathophysiological mechanisms underlying panic disorder. The amygdala can also play a role in provoking panic attacks because of its function in mediating fear responses. A lesser known disorder that the amygdala is associated with is depression. It has been more recently studied in recent years, but it is not as widely known being associated with depression as it is anxiety. So going off of that, in depression, the amygdala does play somewhat of a role. In depression, it is overactive and responds excessively to negative events. It connects to a set of brain regions that hone the physiological and behavioral response to emotional stimuli. Greater depression severity has been related to increased amygdala activation during passive viewing of emotional stimuli and during emotion regulation as well. And lastly, an overactive amygdala misregulated by the prefrontal cortex is a key component of depression. So, going off of that, the amygdala is very crucial in our function of regulating and processing emotional reactions. Like I said, with intense emotional reactions, it is pretty complex with its functions, but it is a major part of activating our fight or flight responses to dangerous situations. So that was it. That was my project. I hope you took something away from at least one of these slides. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy.